As Michelle insults Christians at Hindu temple, Melania put her to shame in Rome accompanied by Malia and Sasha. Michelle Obama visited the Tirtu Hindu temple in Indonesia, where Hindus worship their god Vishnu. While Michelle and the girls were engrossed in the ceremonies, they were caught doing something sick at the temple, which ties into Michelle's debacle at an Italian cathedral a few weeks ago. At the same time, Melania Trump put all of them to shame while in Rome. At the end of May, the Trumps and the Obamas were in Italy at the same time. Of course, it was Barack and Michelle who were shadowing the Trumps' every move in Europe, with the Obamas out to steal some limelight for themselves. That all came to a head on May 22 when the Obamas showed up at the Siena Cathedral while the Trumps were having an audience with the Pope in Rome. But, we'll get back to that later. Right now, the Obamas are in Indonesia and Michelle and her daughters, Malia and Sasha, were caught by photographers at the Tirtu Hindu temple. Let's recall that Barack and Michelle made it a big deal to convince Americans they were Christians. Well, it's no crime to visit a Hindu temple, but what is causing quite a stir is what they were wearing. The paparazzi is going crazy with pics of Michelle, Malia, and Sasha all wearing yellow sarongs. They fail to realize that's not a fashion statement. No, this is part of the Hindu custom of showing your reverence at the temple and, for this temple, their god Vishnu. However, that's not how Hollywood Life saw it, as they missed the real reason for the yellow sarongs. Malia wore a yellow sarong tied around her waist, over a $275 Alexander Wang tie-dye barcode short-sleeve tee and leggings, which she topped off with a baseball hat and a pair of black sneakers. Her look was stylish, trendy, and practical for walking around. Her little sis, Malia, looked just as cool as she also wore the yellow sarong around her waist, over a black tank, which she paired with white sneakers. A baseball cap and sunglasses rounded out her look, and they totally took a tip from their fashionable mom, Michelle. Source: Hollywood Life. It seems Michelle has no problem giving reverence to the god Vishnu, but when it comes to our Lord Jesus Christ, she made a mockery of the centuries-old customs of the Catholic Church when visiting the Duomo di Siena. There is a strict dress code all throughout Italy when visiting Christian holy sites, as many of these sites are the resting places of the martyrs of Rome who lost their lives for their faith. Michelle not only bared her shoulders, but the white cotton top she was wearing was falling off of her as she walked to and from the cathedral. Did Michelle just forget the well-known dress code? That's highly unlikely. It's much more likely that she couldn't care less about offending Christ, and that is how Catholics see it when someone intentionally wears something so inappropriate into a holy site. Meanwhile, as Michelle was offending every Italian in Siena, First Lady Melania Trump was in Rome. Of course, she was dressed beautifully and wore the traditional veil while inside Vatican City, but she also did something very personal for her faith that many may have missed. The Pope blessed the First Lady's rosary beads, and the two had a light-hearted conversation about what she feeds her husband. She spent time in front of a statue of the Madonna at the Vatican's Children's Hospital and laid flowers at its feet, reported Daily Mail. She also spent time in prayer alone inside the Sistine Chapel.